So let's go a little bit deeper.
I think this laughing is going to be a hit online.
By the way, this is the best point.
Let's do it.
Yeah, do it. So let's go a little bit deeper.
I think this laughing is going to be a hit online.
By the way, this is the best point. People doing podcasts all the time. They're doing it because they're trying to pretend they're someone else. Why are they doing a podcast? They're trying to be like the mächtige Mensch. We just ins Lachen, wenn wir sich allein, wo ist ein Podcast, ein Podcast. Und zwei Menschen, die mich gerade machen ein Interview. No, but then we want to help other people. That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, there's a chassidische schmies between what is Gaiva, what is another. Yeah?
Okay.
There's like
Guess it.
no, this podcast is fine. There's like two types of this today's days. There's a lot of therapy, and they used to say like therapy is you can read a lot of books, and this is not a compliance with bitachon or something. It is. There's a lot of thoughts. Everybody can have their chance to say their own opinion for their kids, and
Yeah.
they can put an ad, a paid ad for saying their opinion. And
Okay.
I just also like to say my opinion about this. There's like two types of you could think about Gavin and Novel. You could say that you're not allowed to say I'm something. Yes, I'm just a Chaylik Kaimemal. I'm nothing else. But then you gotta be connected to your higher power.
Okay.
And you can't say I'm nothing, and this other guy in shul with the nice pants, he is something. That's not an even deal. That's not bitachon. I mean, if you know that, yeah, you have to believe that I'm nothing. I'm just a chaylik kaimemal. Okay, so first, what is your chaylik kaimemal? What is that? This is connected to high power. This is much more than a Balgavaka thing because it's unlimited. And then, what do you think? What the other guy is gonna say? He's also nothing. Yeah, and that's like if you want to say I'm powerful.
But by the way, I'm gonna just cut you off a minute. I love this point because when you say I'm nothing and you're chalik l'kaimal, you're basically minimizing the big part of Kodesh because you say I'm nothing, I'm chalik l'kaimal. If you're nothing, that means the Shem is also nothing. Chalik
Right,
l'kaimal is
so
nothing.
you gotta know I'm nothing.
So you want to build
I'm
up your
nothing of myself.
gava from the chalik l'kaimal, not your gava. You are somebody that you are chalik l'kaimal, and you're big because of that.
Right, but when someone say I'm something and I know already my outcomes is what it's going to be, then you're actually even you're saying you're something, you're also minimizing Hashem because what you can understand is nothing against what Hashem has planned for you. Yeah, so if you make your plans and you know I'm something and my plans is going to work out, making plans is something that you have to do it in order to do the right thing, in order to set your visions, to make yours for a motivation tool. But if you
The
start
question is,
believing in it,
I would ask you a question. Why, when you say I'm something, is it because you are something or because you're part of Hashem? Because if the reason you're something because you're something, then
That's
you're
my
disconnecting from the core.
approach. So now you got
Right,
it.
I love it. I love this
That's
approach.
exactly what I want to say. When I'm saying it, if you say I'm something, it means that Hashem wants me to say I'm something. When I'm saying I'm nothing, it means without Hashem I'm nothing. But then when I'm saying I'm nothing, I have to believe that I'm unlimited, connected to
Source.
something that I can never understand even what I am. And actually, I think when a
Right.
person says I'm nothing, I'm just a piece of Hashem, then he gets stronger power because then if you feel Hashem sends a lot of messages to us every day, and sometimes we try to pretend and we try to think what the outcome is going to be, and we're trying to think that it's our decision and the whole world is in our decision, and then like you have to take weight on all your outcomes from the decision,
Everything's your
and
responsibility.
then you're not growing. To grow real, then you have to know that you're just doing what you gotta do, but you have Hashem's power with you. And what are you doing? What do you gotta do? You
Yes.
have to believe that Hashem sends you messages. That's your messages. That's what Hashem tells you to do.
Let me ask you a question. How can you see the difference if somebody believes these are something because of his ego, because of his bad part, and when somebody believes he's something because he's connected to Hashem? Now I'm gonna explain my question. Where is it getting defined? How you see? Explain me the difference in motions and actions of someone that is acting like an egoist, that he's acting as something, but not as an egoist, as connecting to Hashem.
That's a great question. Where is you can see the difference? So obviously you can see it when something doesn't work out the way you thought it's going to work out.
Okay.
That's a hard. Sometimes it's hard, but it's not hard for someone who's
I,
fully
the
committed to
Gemara, the
God.
Gemara says that because of the castle, if someone goes out of control.
Yeah,
If you,
actually,
yes.
actually, there's
And what is it? What is that? What do you want to say?
in the same is when someone like talks against your ego. When someone tells when someone shuts you off, then you can see also that like if you're here to help the guy to do what's right, then you can think what to do now. If you have an ego that I am a Khali Kayama, but you think it as a new identity that you have that everybody needs to
I know ego plays.
now
It's not the
be
source, it's an
quiet when
ego.
you are talking.
Right, right.
Now, yeah,
So
now you know that
I will add
it's a
a
little
point
bit
because you mentioned it.
egoistical. And I
This
want
is
to
very
add
good.
something that sometimes
Okay.
you could choose to be vulnerable and to be real and not to be egoistical, but sometimes your
Right.
ego is here to protect you. And it's very, very hard an emotional disaster to get rid of your ego. It's like you're getting out of your box. And getting out of the box depends what you believe. It's outside of the box. If you know there's a lovely hand from Hashem, or you thought this is your traumas from your inner child, I don't know. I'm not going into this stuff now, but not everybody could say, I want to get rid of my ego, and it's like you're just getting out of it. Sometimes there's a lot of barriers that you have to break, and it's subconscious barriers. You have to really ask yourself, is this ego or is this Hashem? What is it?
I like that point you bring up now. And I want to add 2 points for that. First of all, your ego is also part of the creation, meaning Hashem created you with an ego for a reason. And sometimes we discussed this a few weeks ago, but the point that sometimes you need to use your ego for kind of surviving mechanism because in certain situations in life, you're going through a stressful point or a challenge where only the ego can save you. And that's actually Hashem created it. But it's only a tool. It has to be used as a tool. Versus if it's your identity versus a tool, then you have a big challenge. But I want to add another point where you said before the difference where you can see an egoist versus someone who loves of Hashem and is somebody is comes from Hashem. You see the difference how you mentioned it, how you relate in relationships to other people. Because if you are a piece of Hashem, then they are as well a piece of Hashem as well. So what's the difference? They are a piece of Hashem as well. And sometimes, because like let's say in your body, you have the head, you have the hands, you have your stomach, you have your feet, everything is a part of you. Now you'd say that the head is a better part. Yeah, the head could have thinking, the heart is working harder, but it's still only together. And the head is not better than the hand. It's a different tool. Now, if you're connected to the source, you believe other people are connected to the source as well. So maybe you are the leader, maybe you are the boss, the position, the company, maybe he's an employee. But as long as you lead from inside, you're connected, you agree to both as Hashem. But if you're an egoist, then it's going to end up proving that you are the part and he is not. There where the difference
Yeah,
comes.
you just remind me a story that I had once, and I think it's a real amazing story. It's a little bit shaped my life. It was someone betrayed me in a certain level, but he did it by mistake. And he came to ask me for forgiveness. And this guy was in a tough challenge, so I knew that he's going through a hard time. And I right away before I asked him why did you do that, I told him, yeah, I'm forgiving you 3 times, and don't worry, take it easy. And I gave him a hug, and case closed. But then I knew that it's not working that way. I went then to one of my people, my friends, and I told him I have to talk to you a few minutes. And I went to in the car with him, and we started a real anger process to give out my pain about this guy. I didn't want that this person should know because he was really in a tough situation. But I
Right.
had a lot of, like, I felt that the right thing is to give for him the forgiveness right away, but then to go into a car with a private person and to give out my anger regards this person. And then I felt better. And then after I give out my anger, a person asked me that he believes that Hashem, this mistake had to happen. because I know that this guy is going through a very tough time, and I knew that this mistake could, for some reason, break something about him. It like it's a bigger mistake for his sake than my sake, but I could share a little bit more. It was like a mistake that he breaks some of his isolations through this mistake,
It
and I
brought it
was
took him
like,
out from his it took him out from
yeah,
his
like he
comfort zone.
shared something, and but it for some reason it broke his ego box. And after that, I recognized, yeah, so obviously Hashem wanted this mistake should happen. There's nothing I could fight with someone. There's nothing, and I don't want to have now an argument with him. I don't want he should live in my mind rent free, right? I should have something he has to tell me. He has to ask me more, Michiel. I'm not forgiving you now. I need another date to forgive you. I wanted to get rid of of anger towards someone that is nothing. There's no money involved. I noticed that Hashem wanted this mistake should happen, and there's no other reason for His person for this sake. And I felt myself like you could say that Matra Tzaddik asked. It felt into my mind the next day. Matra Tzaddik, you could say he was the victim of Klal Yisrael. He was going around. There was a Talia to pick him up to kill him because Klal Yisrael went to the party of Achashverosh. He didn't ask Klal Yisrael to go.
He was actually against it officially. Like,
So
that's
he
what we
said,
know.
Claudio, don't go to the party. Now Claudio didn't follow him. They went to the party, and now he's at fault. He has to. Haman made a talia for him to hang him on the talia. You could say Matre is the victim of Claudio, or you could say Matre the shliach from Claudio. In the same as Moshe Rabbeinu with all of the stuff.
Wow.
And after that, like the guy told me, like
Wow.
Hashem made this mistake should happen. I was like, wow, I could take it as a victim. I could take it as a tafket.
Wow. 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 It's amazing. If you take it as a victim, it's take it as a tough kid.
And actually, I think every time victim or tafket, it's like responsibility versus some. It's not a slavery. Sometimes Hashem telling is talking to you. You're not like, but you got to be able to handle it. You got to be able to take it that way. You got to know that
But that's what we know
Hashem is still
always, that
with
when
you.
Hashem gives you a challenge, he gives you the tools as well. It's not like it's not an option that he won't give you a challenge what he can't handle. So the problem is when you get an ego and you think you control everything, then you have a challenge that you think, oh, how can I handle it? Who gave it to me? But you think of it as your boss in the office gives you a job, and you trust this boss that only gives you a job that you can do. He proved it many times. Then okay, I have a challenge, but no problem. Let's go with the challenge. Let's play with it. Wow, good. Okay,
Thanks for having me at the AB Land
yeah. This
podcast.
this is something
They used
people
to say,
want to tell you something. This is something. This is not a podcast. This is a conversation me and my brothers Alman, and we love to have anyone want to have a conversation. We discuss it. And we're not trying to be professional here. We're trying to actually just be very polite and simple.
and also
And
we don't
if you to
have to
reach
have the
out,
perfect
click
English.
the status like what?
And also we don't have to have a perfect English, just the UTA
No, it's
English,
actually English.
like people calls it the English version, is just enough.
The main point is that as long as you believe you're a human being, no, again, it's not a podcast. We're not doing podcast.
You
We
used to
just,
say business is my family,
this
it's
is
my
my real
brother.
family. And it's my brother, but it's not real family. It's kind of discussing natures. And I hope to be this out every week with a new episode. I don't call it episode because if you call it episode, you're right away you might even think it's a podcast. And it's a podcast. There's a vision. There's a planning. No, it's just simple talking, schmoozing, anything you want, and it's okay to laugh.
Thank you.